In the Caucasus Mountains.
Mountains.
Yep.
This mountain expanse straddling Russia and Georgia has long been a breeding ground for legends of the wild, ape-like creatures. The Yeti. You remember that, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was within this landscape that Zana, I don't know how we pronounce it, but it was a creature unlike any other they discovered. So a group of local hunters were prowling through the forest in search of whatever they could find. And what they do eventually find shakes their beliefs and their foundations and leaves the world with an crazy story that has yet to be explained.
Yes, I could say for sure about that because, I've heard the story on multiple occasions, but it was, I don't know. I think it's pretty neat. And for everyone who's tuning in on our Facebook Live or our YouTube Live, Jason will have pictures here in a little bit of Zana and of one of her offspring, one of her sons. And you draw your own conclusions. It's definitely different. I mean, we live in a world now where we think we have everything figured out, but we're finding new things all the time.
Every day.
New varieties of something, right? We don't have it figured out. We know here in North America and a lot of other places in the world, there's a Bigfoot-like creature. But what's funny is, and we've never really covered it, but I mean, I remember hearing stories of back in the late 1800s and the really early 1900s, people thinking that they saw like Neanderthal type people and indigenous peoples up there bringing in tusks to trade for traders that still had fresh blood on them.
Yep.
Like they just killed the woolly mammoth. And they said, and that's what the stories that they got was that they did kill this, that it wasn't something they found in the ice. So I don't know. I mean, I'm saying all that to say that when you look at these things and you say, well, I don't think that it's true. I don't think it's possible. Well, I mean,
why not?
Yeah. What do you know? I mean, when you sit there and you have to have tangible proof for everything in this world, you live a boring life. You need to go back to being a kid, where you pretended that you was a spaceman or made forts and
Buck Rogers.
That's right. I mean, I think we lose things as we grow older a lot of times.
Yeah.
The imagination.
So eyewitnesses accounts paint a picture of her being she had both human and animal-like characteristics.
Right.
The descriptions vary, but commonalities include an ape-like physique covered in hair, and possessing a gait that suggests she moved bipedally. These accounts are often filtered through the lens of folklore and superstition, making it challenging to separate fact from fiction. So the circumstance surrounding Zana's capture remains shrouded in mystery. Some sources suggest that she was captured in the wild, while others claim that she was found wandering alone. Regardless of the exact details, her subsequent life was of captivity, where she transitioned from a creature of the woods to a marginalized member of human society.
Well, that's true. I mean, I think the first 3 years of her capture, she was put in a cage because she was unruly. And then she was taught, remedial labor jobs, like being able to grind corn and do all kinds of stuff like that, So, they I guess do what they do to most things, they broke her, right? And created her. But what was funny is that she never learned how to talk.
Never.
Yeah.
But
she couldn't speak.
her offspring did.
Yeah. She couldn't speak at all.
So who or what? Who the daddy?
I said that it was daddy by multiple men.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So said that she loved to eat, a lot of fruit and vegetables and stuff. But she also loved wine.
Wow.
And it was when she would be on wine that she would end up having who the baby daddy playing. You're not the daddy.
The picture must not do her justice then.
I don't know, because she looks pretty wild, but
oh yeah.
There's someone for everyone, I was always told.
Yeah, I guess.
Or the wine.
Yeah, if you
those wine goggles I heard were some beer goggles.
Yep.
Yeah, it's funny. Well, we have comments in the.
Do we?
Yeah.
Let's look at them.
People are talking to us. Roy says,
Bird dog
in the house.
is
hey,
in the
Susan.
house.
Hey, Roy. Susan. Hey, Susan.
Roy, I don't owe you a pizza. We started at 7.
Yep. Roy's like, if you start late, you owe me a pizza.
So if you just joined us, we're talking about Zana, the Russian Neanderthal, who was found in 1850. I got a little more detail about the capture. What they saw appeared to be human, but not yet human. It seemed to be a young female with ape-like features. Her arms, legs, and fingers were very thick, unusually thick. Her breasts were massive. Excuse me. And
the 12-year-old boy just came out, Jason.
And she was covered with thick, dark hair. She was also said to be absolutely ferocious. But nevertheless, the hunters, they managed to capture her alive and brought her to an isolated mountain village 50 miles from Sukhumi, where she was given to a nobleman.
Just giving away.
Just giving away.
Hey, look what we captured. You want her?
We don't want her. She's too wild.
What's up, Steven? How you doing? Nope, we just kind of started.
We just kind of started, buddy.
No, we're 15 minutes in. So, like Jason just said, physical descriptions of Zana are varied. Many accounts emphasize her ape-like features, a robust build, elongated limbs, and a covering of coarse hair. Now, these descriptions are often colored by the cultural and society lens through which they were observed. It is essential to approach these physical descriptions with a critical eye, considering the potential for exaggeration or misinterpretation. Now, we've got a picture.
We do have a picture.
Despite the challenges of relying on subjective accounts, some consistent physical traits merge. Now, most descriptions agree on her bipedal gait. Now, that's a characteristic that sets her apart from most apes. Her facial features, while often described as primitive or ape-like, also carried hints of human likeness. Now, these conflicting elements contribute to the endearing mystery surrounding Zana's identity. Yeah. I don't know. That's definitely ape-like.
Yeah, you want me to show it?
Yeah. Everybody wants to, who wants to see who Zana is?
Let's show everybody.
Show them.
Now imagine fathering the children of this. Oh,
Um,
what do you think? Oh,
hmm,
where'd it go? Let's see. Where'd it go? There we go. There we go.
there you go.
Yeah, that's Zana. So what do you think? What sort of ape-like? Yeah,
I think the nose, the brow,
yeah.
very ape-like.
The teeth are not really.
Not very ape-like.
No,
The jaw structure, not too much either, is it?
no.
The high cheekbones could be. I don't know. I
Yeah,
think she could just be a wild woman.
I don't know. I mean, she had to be raised by something.
Yeah.
They said when they captured her that when they captured her, they put her in a cage and they she dug like a hole
Yeah, and
to
slept in.
sleep in.
Yeah. What did he say? Y'all need to talk about that crazy print I showed.
At the conference.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to get you on here and do that. Looks
Susan
like
says
Mona
it's
Lisa.
a Mona Lisa Bigfoot. There's our primitive traits that, yeah, they are very primitive. we do need to, we need to have you back on, Steve, to, and we'll talk about those footprints.
Oh yeah. Now and be sure to watch this Saturday because we got somebody on it that we have pictures of footprints too that's took pictures.
Yeah, that were on his farm.
Yes.
So Steve says, "Tell me when."
Say when.
When?
Yeah, we could probably do it next week one day.
Yeah.
Maybe Thursday.
So we don't have anybody.
Maybe Tuesday. I have to look at the calendar.
Yeah. Let Jason look at the calendar, and then he'll send you some dates.
Mona Lisa, I like that.
The Mona Lisa kind of does, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Now, like Jason said, though, that when they had her in a cage, she dug a big hole, and that's what she slept in, was that big hole.
Mm-hmm.
And so is, I don't know. I think that this is pretty neat. I know Jason's got another part of the story to tell.
Let's see here. So it said that she was so ferocious and violent that for the first 3 years of her capture, she was in a cage like we talked about, and she dug a hole to sleep in.
Yep.
And the village people were terrified of her rages and would not venture near. The food that she got was thrown at her, so they wouldn't even hardly get close to her. But over the course of time, she became a lot tamer, and eventually she was domesticated. She was given the name Zana and was moved to I guess, a wattle enclosure where she could stand up, walk around. They tethered her at first, but later they released her and she could roam free. But she never wandered far away from the food source. So, I mean, that's the animalistic part of it. She eventually learned some simple tasks, such as we said earlier, she could grind corn and carry wood. But she never mastered a single word of speech. Her only utterances were grunts and howls. That's crazy.
Yeah, see, and that makes me believe that she wasn't human. Because even a feral human, we've got stories throughout time of feral kids and stuff being found. And eventually they could be taught to speak and to get into society. but she could never be taught.
The only person that could even get her to behave was her
Owner.
master, the one that they, the nobleman that they give her to.
Mm-hmm.
He could control her, and he would react with fear if he shouted at her, so she'd be afraid of him.
He must have beat on her a little bit or something. What do you think?
Yeah. Oh. So some of her wild ways. She was very strong.
Yep.
It was said that she could outrun a horse without any effort at all, just outrun a horse.
Yeah.
I wonder if she got down on all fours.
I don't know. But there's natives and stuff that were really fast like that could run with deer and antelope and stuff and catch them and stuff. So I don't think it's something that's beyond a human-like trait.
Maybe that next step, the superhuman trait. Evolution. So she also could lift 80 kilograms of flour with one hand and carry it from the water mill to the village uphill.
That's crazy.
She could effortlessly climb trees to retrieve grapes, which she loved grapes. She also liked to roam the forest at nighttime. I think she's part Sasquatch.
Maybe. I mean, she was covered in fur. Her hair, coarse hair.
In the next part after the break, I know we're going to get into something like the DNA and stuff like that. So
because they did DNA on her kids.
Yeah. So you want to go ahead and do that, or do you want to go to a break? Go to a break.
I think it's break time.
It is. We got just a few minutes.
Nobody leave.
We're coming back.
Everybody like, share, follow,
yes,
subscribe, do all the things you want to do.
Oh, yeah.
Now, remember, you can find us at paranormal411.org. Also, Paranormal 411 on Facebook, YouTube, and X. Remember, every Saturday night, we are live from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're in the Metro Atlanta area, you can listen to us at WDJY FM. That's 99.1 FM. And that's at 10 to 11. Now, for listeners outside of Atlanta, you could visit us and listen to us at WDJYFM.com, or you could click the link on our website. We're also on Subspace Radio and all major podcast platforms. Remember, we do have a book out. Don't miss it.
Don't miss it.
East Tennessee Hauntings and Lore Edition 2. It is on Amazon.
It is.
Right? Amazon. It's a great book. Join us.
And
in a world
we'll
on
be
the
back
edge of oblivion,
right
go
after
to
paranormal411.org
for all of your paranormal, extraterrestrial, and cryptid needs.
What if the world we know is merely a fraction of reality? What if there are forces, entities, and phenomena that exist just beyond our comprehension in the shadows of the unknown? Welcome to Paranormal 411, your gateway to the unexplained and the downright chilling. Imagine, if you will, a quiet, sleepy town tucked away from the hustle and bustle of the city. The locals tell tales of a house atop a hill where strange lights flicker and eerie sounds echo in the dead of night. Some say it's haunted, others claim it's a portal to another realm. Whatever the truth, one thing is certain: those who venture there are never quite the same. Or picture this, a clear, starry night in the heart of the desert. Suddenly a blinding flash cuts across the sky, a craft of unknown origin moving at impossible speeds. It hovers, then vanishes, leaving only questions and a sense of awe. Could it be visitors from another world, or perhaps a secret government project? These stories, these encounters with the unknown, are what we love here at Paranormal 411. Our mission? To explore the unexplored, to question the unquestioned, and to shine a light into the darkest corners of the paranormal. We've journeyed through haunted houses and UFO sightings and into the mysteries of cryptids and psychic phenomena and pondered the existence of other dimensions. And yet, there is so much more to discover. Paranormal 411 is your guide to the unexplained and the extraordinary. Here we talk about the mysteries that lurk in the shadows of our world, from haunted houses and UFO sightings to cryptids and psychic phenomena. We love to question, to explore, and to understand the unknown. There's a world of mystery out there just waiting to be discovered. So why not join us on this journey into the unknown? Subscribe to our YouTube channel and become a part of the Paranormal 411 community. Together, we can uncover the secrets that the universe holds. Welcome to Paranormal 411. Your journey into the unknown starts here. Join us.
In the heart of Madisonville, Tennessee, lies a pizzeria like no other. Step through the door of Legends and Lore Pizzeria and be transported to a realm where paranormal and cryptid encounters, along with mouth-watering pizza, go hand in hand. Meet Eddie and his crew, who serve up slices of the supernatural along with the best pies in town. With the walls adorned with eerie artifacts, indulge in piping hot slices that melt in your mouth and tease your taste buds. And it's not just the locals who love the incredible pizza. Legends and Lore has been selected as the best pizza joint in all of Monroe County. As lovers of everything pizza and the paranormal, the owners have mastered the art of crafting unforgettable combinations that will leave you wanting more. To stay connected with this mystical eatery, follow Legends and Lore Pizzeria on Facebook, where tales of their latest creations and upcoming specials will be shared. Make sure to browse their custom menu, featuring legendary pizzas like the Chupacabra Ranch and the Exorcist. So, whether you have an appetite for the supernatural or simply seek the best pizza in town, Legends and Lore is the place to be. Come for the unforgettable flavors, stay for the captivating stories, and find yourself in a world where legends and pizza collide.
Get ready to rock with the electrifying sound of Catalyst, a band that's sure to leave you wanting more. With their powerful lyrics and killer riffs, Catalyst is a great sound in the world of rock music. You can listen and find Catalyst on Bandcamp, or go to the link at paranormal411.org and click on their banner.
All right.
Woo! Welcome
We are
back.
back.
Welcome back, everybody. We missed you.
We did.
was 6 minutes and 1 second. Man, that was a long time.
If you just joined us, we are talking about Zana, the Russian, I think, Bigfoot, Sasquatch. I do. I really think was part of it.
Yes.
Well, you
Sorry.
you okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
So David here in a minute is going to be talking about the children of Zana. You know,
Yes. Sorry,
I
everybody.
wanted to mention something before you do that she had these. I understand why these kids were able to speak, because they were fostered by villagers.
Yes.
They would take them away from her when she had them, and then they were fostered by the villagers.
Yes.
So now I understand how they could be able to.
Right.
But they still, some of their visual, this guy that we're going to show later, he still kind of looks funny.
Right. Yeah, I mean, he does. And, you know, I think we'll get into it here in a second, but, you know, villagers felt like they had to take the children away.
Mm-hmm.
So now one of the most intriguing aspects of Zana's story lies in her offspring. Now, accounts suggest that she bore multiple children with human males from the local population. Now, these children, born from a union between a presumed ape-like creature and humans, kind of has a unique opportunity for scientific study.
Mm-hmm.
Their existence raises profound questions about human evolution, genetics, and the boundaries of species. The lives of her children are largely undocumented. Now, they kind of are shrouded in mists of time and some folklore. Now, some accounts suggest that they exhibited physical characteristics that diverged from the normal, hinting at possible genetic inheritance from their mother. However, these descriptions are often subject and open to interpretation. Now, despite their unusual origins, Zana's children appear to have integrated into local society, marrying and having children of their own. So, you know, and like we was talking about just a few seconds ago, the reason the locals thought that they needed to take these children from her was because she killed a couple of her kids because she took them. They say that she was a really strong woman and robust, but also the cold didn't bother her at all. The heat did. She was really bothered by the heat, but the cold didn't bother her at all. So her offspring, she would take when they were babies to this cold creek and would bathe them, and it would kill them.
Yeah.
And so the locals started taking her children from her.
I know that she lost a few babies too to the natural childbirth.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I don't think she would let anybody help her.
That's crazy.
Yes.
Very crazy.
The kids that she did bathe in the creek, they would get hypothermia and die.
Yep.
Mm.
Yep. I mean, could you imagine going up, having a baby, and going up into the mountains and washing a baby in that?
Right.
That's a cold water.
Yep.
Especially
Especially in Russia.
Yeah. Could you imagine if it was in the wintertime?
I'd say it's cold year round there.
Depending on where you live.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's a huge country. So, but yeah. Now, potential into studying the DNA of her descendants is a pretty good little prospect. Now, such research could provide invaluable insights into Zana's makeup and her relationship to the human species. However, ethical considerations and the challenges of obtaining viable DNA samples, blah, 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 have hindered scientific investigation. Now, nonetheless, the legacy of Zana lives on through her children, making them key figures in unraveling the mysteries surrounding this creature.
So I'm going to show a picture of her youngest child.
This is the one that didn't die until the 50s, right?
Yeah, 1954. His name was Khwit, Khwit. And see if I can get it pulled up.
There he is.
There he is. That's a picture of her youngest child, which definitely is kind of hairy. What do you think?
He looks like what's that guy on that one TV show? He's a comedian. He come in. Look,
I don't know. I can't remember.
it's a big comedy. I'm trying to think. I don't remember. He's lanky, and he always come in and bust into that guy's door and talk all weird and stuff.
Did he have a sitcom?
It was on a sitcom. Remember, he got in trouble for blackfacing or whatever it was.
He's dead now. Yeah, I know you.
Doesn't he kind of look like him a little bit?
Yeah. I can't remember what his name was, but I know who you're talking about.
Every time I see it, I see that, or I see the guy that's in Men in Black.
Yeah.
That's it. I done put that in everybody's face now. Everybody's head is thinking Men in Black now.
You got a head full of hair.
Yeah, he's definitely got some hair.
And he's got some features.
High
cheekbones and square chin.
Yep, pretty good brow ridge too.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
Interesting.
And what we're about to talk about, or Jason's about to talk about Professor Brian Sykes. I think that's pretty interesting too.
Yeah, he
the one that kind of brought this to the forefront, kind of put it in public knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a prominent geneticist who played a pivotal role in bringing scientific scrutiny to Zana. Intrigued by the possibility of a Neanderthal link, he undertook a DNA analysis of hair samples, which reportedly belonged to Zana. Mitochondrial DNA inherited solely from the mother was the focus of the research. This genetic material offered a potential pathway to trace Zana's maternal lineage and possibly connect her to ancient human populations.
That's interesting.
Yes. So his findings were met with excitement and skepticism. His analysis suggests that Zana's mitochondrial DNA was unlike any known human sequence, which is pretty interesting.
That is interesting.
Hinting at a possible link to an archaic human population. I don't know why I want to say population.
Because it was popularized.
But that discovery ignited speculation about her potential Neanderthal ancestry. So a proposition that clarified the scientific community and captivated public imagination. However, the complex nature of DNA analysis combined with the potential contamination, we've heard this before, raised questions about the credibility of the results.
That's funny because we get the same thing for DNA.
This is
when it comes to Bigfoot, because the mitochondrial, the female side, usually always comes back human, and the male side comes back unknown primate.
Unknown.
That's interesting.
So his findings implicated, if validated, and they challenge our understanding of human evolution and raise a possibility of surviving relic populations from the distant past. But you know, the scientific community remains divided um,
God damn.
on the data. It was contaminated.
Right.
Further research, including the analysis of additional genetic markers, needs to be done to solidify the conclusion drawn from the initial study. So basically, the DNA was rejected by science.
Mainstream science says, nah.
Party poopers.
I don't know. What kills me about stuff like that, Jason, is that, I mean, I'm sure he knew what he was doing when he collected the DNA.
Mm-hmm.
So then, you know, I don't know. I understand though, because science is like, no, 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 no. We're the only human species on this planet. And there's no other. Even though I was listening to something, it was a history program or something like that, but they said throughout time, there has been anywhere between 2 and up to 5 humanoid species on this planet at all times. Has always been upright, bipedal, walking, whatever you want to call them. I mean, all the way up, even through, you know, Homo erectus and all of that, that there was always more than one. So what makes us think that that stopped? I mean, we're the only ones that we know of that started moving in closer, creating cities, and rarely going outside of those cities because we created everything close to those cities. So we no longer had to really move. We became sedimentary. So why wouldn't the others just move off, continue doing what they were doing, and say, yep, stay away from those crazy people?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I just think it's crazy. Now there's some alternative theories that we want to go over. So one of the most persistent theories says that she was a deformed human. Now, this explanation attempts to reconcile her apparent physical abnormalities with a strictly human lineage. Proponents of this theory point to cases of congenital disorders or developmental abnormalities that can result in unusual physical characteristics. However, critics argue that the extent of Zana's reported differences from typical humans is too pronounced to be explained by such conditions. Now, another hypothesis suggests that she may have been a runaway slave. Now, this theory proposes that she was a human being of African descent who's escaped captivity and found refuge in the remote Caucasus Mountains. Now, while this explanation addresses the question of her bipedal locomotion and human-like intelligence, it does not account for the reported ape-like features. Moreover, historical records of escaped slaves in the region during the relevant time period are scarce.
Yeah, that one's definitely X off the list.
Yeah, I think so. The more exotic theory says that she belonged to an unknown primate species. Now, this idea is supported by the apparent physical differences between her and the humans. However, the absence of any other reported sightings of similar creatures in the region raises some doubts about this hypothesis. Additionally, the possibility of a previously undiscovered primate species surviving in such close proximity to human populations seems unlikely. But yet we find footprints.
Yeah. For her to be that wild, she would have to be born into that environment.
Yeah. It'd have to be normal for her.
Right. No, I don't see any other way of her being lost in the woods, and that's what happened to her. This is not like
Right. I mean,
Walk
so
Like a Man.
right. So I mean, just being lost in the woods, like you said. So then, who would have raised her?
Yeah.
Who would have taught her how to eat and you know where to sleep? How how to do these things to keep herself safe from other creatures that might be out there? I mean, you would have had to have some kind of teacher for those kinds of things. You don't just,
Right.
hey, I'm going to go move into the woods and become an expert on moving into the woods. It just
I'm not
it
going
don't
to talk no more.
Yeah, can't talk. I'm going to grunt and howl.
I'm going to sleep in a hole.
Yep. And all of a sudden, your proportions get bigger. You get bigger fingers and
Yeah.
everything like that.
Massive.
Massive. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that happens either.
Then all of a sudden you grow hair.
Yeah, maybe I need to go move into the woods if I want to grow a beard. That's what's missing from my beardness, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That and my wife wouldn't let me have one if I could grow one anyway. She'd be like, "Nah, I don't like it."
So the cultural and folklore connections. So the Caucasus region where she was found is rich in folklore and mythology. It's full of tales with extraordinary creatures. These legends often involve beings that blur the lines between humans and animals, sharing certain characteristics with Zana. The existence of such stories suggests a cultural predisposition to accept the possibility of such anomalies, and maybe laying the groundwork for the acceptance of her within the local community.
Right.
So, by examining the folklore traditions, researchers can identify potential parallels between Zana and other mythical creatures, which the comparative analyst might offer clues about the culture context in which she was perceived. Additionally, understanding the role of these legends in local society can provide insight into how people might have reacted to the presence of a creature like her.
Okay.
So ultimately, while folklore cannot provide definitive answers, it offers a valuable lens through which to examine our phenomenon by exploring the culture and the mythological context. Researchers can gain a deeper appreciation for the complex between human belief, perception, and the natural world.
It's funny though, because you just said that, there's mythology there of characteristic of them that they believe in these characteristics of these beings like Zana, right? Now, we want to call that mythology.
Mm-hmm.
Just like here in North America and stuff, we say people who believe in Bigfoot and the indigenous peoples who believe in Bigfoot, it's mythology. They're described. That's just their like you just said, their lens through which they saw everything.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So they're seeing the world through a lens that lets them understand things that most people call, mythology. They call a myth. It's a myth. It's a legend, right? Kind of like our book.
Oh yeah.
But the thing is that if these people are seeing these things and talking about these things, why do they have to be perceived as myth and legend?
Right.
Why can't they be real? I mean, to me, you would think that they would go out and try to see, and with this whole thing of them talking about, well, it's very unlikely that these other humanoid creatures would live close proximity to, us,
Yeah.
to normal, what we call normal humans, right?
Mhm.
To Homo sapien sapien. But we see it. We see it all the time. We see it in this story. We
Mhm.
see it in the stories of Bigfoot, because otherwise you wouldn't have any sightings at all if they were nowhere to be found.
Right.
What do you think?
I think there's truth to even if it's just a kernel of corn truth,
Right.
there's truth to everything.
Right.
That the folklore.
Right.
Or lore.
It came from something.
Yeah. I mean,
something tangible.
Yeah.
Like that. Jason's tangible. I'm telling you, he's not folklore. He exists. This camera did not make him up. No, but I don't know. I just find stories like this fascinating, and that's why when I saw it today, I was like, "That's a pretty neat story." Whoa, whoa, dang it!
excuse me.
You got one more?
No,
No?
that's it.
2 is pretty good. 3 is a good number, though.
Achoo.
Achoo.
Remember, we have a show this Saturday.
We do. Who's on this Saturday, Jason?
Colonel Mark
Nightwolf.
Brown, I believe is his last name.
I think so. Yeah. And he's going to be talking
Yes.
to us about a whole bunch of different stuff.
Yes, he's got a farm down here close to us in Sweetwater that he's had a few things happen.
Yeah, he showed us some pictures of some Bigfoot.
Yes.
And they're pretty compelling. Those
Yeah.
footprints were big.
Yeah. Very. He's very interesting. So it'll be a good show.
Yeah, he seems like he's had a lot of things happen to him in his life.
Yes.
So it's going to be very interesting. And I look forward to, he's actually going to be live in the studio.
Yes.
He's going to be here. What do you think about that, Jason?
Woo, woo,
whoop. So remember, everybody, if you want to find us, you can do that at paranormal411.org, Paranormal 411 on Facebook, YouTube, and X. Tune in live every Tuesday and Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Saturdays from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, if you're in the metro Atlanta area, you can catch us on WDJY FM. That's 99.1 FM. That's 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, for listeners outside of Atlanta, you can visit us at WDJYFM.com, or you click the link at our website, paranormal411.org. We're also on Subspace Radio and all of their major podcast platforms.
Join us.
Don't miss our new book. You can't miss out on this new book. East Tennessee Hauntings and Lore Edition 2. Available on Amazon or at paranormal411.org. Join us. Look
All
at
right.
that. That's a pretty book.
It is.
It's pretty. I'm telling you. If you get it in your hands, you don't want to let it go.
So
Have a good night.
we will see you Saturday.
Saturday. Yes, it's going to be great. Thank you, Michelle. Awesome. Everybody have a good night.